Hello, and welcome back to episode 3 of the Satisfactory Update 4 Let's Play series. I am Gray, and between episodes, all I've really done is expand this initial platform here and move the hub up to the second level, as well as the biomass burners, and I placed a few additional biomass burners and then moved the biomass constructor up here as well. Let's see what we've got. So now we've got 6 biomass burners, 6 full size, in addition to the 2 mini in the hub. And we are going through solid biofuel at a pretty steady rate. Let's see if we can top all these off at 200. Okay, good. So now we've got a capacity of 220 megawatts. We're only consuming 80 megawatts at full tilt right now. That's fine. Now we've got all of our iron products up here. Got 8 smelters making iron ingots, 2 constructors making iron plates, 4 constructors making iron rods. Why is this yellow? What's going on there? Just the output full? Yeah. Okay. And then half of our iron rods are being converted and routed to 3 constructors making screws. They're all these products are gathering in 3 storage containers. Right here, there's a bit of a bottleneck. Each constructor produces 40 screws per minute, so that's 120 screws total between the 3. And right now we've only got Mark 1 belts, which are limited to 60 items per minute. We're producing 120, so this belt is not moving, or these items are not moving as quickly as they could into the container, but that's fine. We'll address that later. Step 1, we're going to unlock part assembly. That unlocks rotors and assemblers. We need to handcraft some cable for that. I want to get the smart plating automated ASAP in this episode, so that by the end of the episode we're ready to unlock tiers 3 and 4. So the first thing we'll do is unlock part assembly. We'll handcraft our 50 rotors and our 50 reinforced plates, and then we'll pop those into an assembler to start constructing our 50 smart plating for the space elevator. And while those smart plates are constructed, we'll move our wire up here and then start prepping for the move to the lake, where we'll build our mid-game base. Just need to go and pick up some plates. We have plenty. This setup has been running for between an hour and 2 hours between episodes, while I uploaded the first episode of the series to YouTube. So we've got a little bit of accumulation happening. Now we'll pop in our plates, unlock part assembly.
Milestone reached. More complex assembly of parts can now be automated. Project assembly parts can now be constructed and sent up via the space elevator. Note: project parts are too complex to produce by hand.
So that unlocked the assembler, copper sheets, rotors, modular frames, and smart plating. Basically the rest of the milestones are not really essential. Pre-coal except Logistics Mark II. Oh, that's the one that we really need to unlock. We'll do that next. But step 1, we've got to handcraft 50 rotors and 50 reinforced plates to be combined into smart plating for the space elevator. That should not take long at all. We could automate this, of course, but because we need a set number, a small number, only 50 of each, it's faster just to get it done by hand and then pop them into the assembler, because once it's in the assembler, you know, that's 25 minutes that it's going to take to produce the 50 smart plates. So if we get this done as quickly as possible, then we can finish it up before the episode ends and unlock tiers 3 and 4. Additionally, because we know we're moving to the lake in you know, a very short period of time, like after this episode, we'll start construction of the much larger mid-game base at the lake. You know, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to put a ton of effort into building here at this location. Okay, there's 50 rotors and a few more screws. Let's get some more plates as well. Okay, now let's make our 50 reinforced plates. Just a few more. So there's an action watermark at the top of my screen on the stream. I'm testing out a new recording software. I haven't purchased a license yet. This is a trial version. If I decide to keep this software, I'll go ahead and purchase the full version, and that watermark should go away in future episodes. Okay, let's see. An assembler. Okay. Let's go ahead and pop it right here. Obviously, this is all temporary. Making smart plates. 50 rotors. $50 reinforced plates. Let's power it up. Okay. So this will take 25 minutes to make the 50 that we need. The next step, obviously the other thing we need to unlock tiers 3 and 4 are the space elevator. Let's queue one of those up. We've got everything we need basically except for the wire. So let's go ahead and automate some wire over here. I've already deconstructed the small assembly we had before. Now we'll just build a slightly larger setup right here on our platform. Set the direction of the belt. Try to do this without too much clipping, even though it is temporary. It's all temporary. There's some concrete all down here. Okay, so Mark 1 belts, 2 smelters. Copy the recipe, paste the recipe. Oh, these produce 30 per minute. I believe that the constructors for wire require 15 per minute. Yes, okay. So let's make a few more reinforced plates. And then we can get a cable production going as well. That should do it. This tree is a little bothersome. Let's go ahead and cut it down. That did the trick. So with 2 smelters producing 30 ingots each, we can support 4 smelters consuming 15 ingots each. And we've got the power for that. Oh, we need some cable. Let's see, 8 each. Plus cable for electricity. Like 60 or 70. Guess we could go ahead and automate reinforced plates too. We'll need a lot of reinforced plates and rotors for our coal setup. And that'll be the start of the next episode, is getting coal power up. Okay. These aren't centered. I hate that. Just remove all that. small change, and it'll look better. Oh yeah. The constructors are centered. Good. So then we'll need 2 splitters. One for each smelter. These first 2 on our south, in the south, will just feed into a storage container. Let's merge these. And these 2 in the north will feed a constructor making cable. That should be a perfect ratio. Of wire to cable. Produces 30 wire per minute. So this should consume 60 wire per minute, because we have 2 constructors to produce 30 cable per minute. Okay. Now 2 storage containers. Something to think about. That is tempting. Okay. Let's go ahead and tap that other copper node. And just get a little bit of small setup for copper sheets started as well. We'll need copper sheets for the pipes for our coal generators. This is all temporary. Having it automated like this will let a supply start to accumulate while we plan out the mid-game base and our coal generators. I usually like to start big with coal gens. You know, start with like at least 16 coal generators. At least 16. And you'll definitely want more than that before you reach fuel generators. At least I always do. Hopefully we have the power for this. I'm confident we do. These are also copper ingots. Using 30 per minute. So I think we said that the copper sheets were 20 per minute. So we'll need 6 constructors. Or 3 constructors. 6 reinforced plates. That'll be 24 cable. We have... Okay. 3 constructors here. I believe we can. Okay, we'll do this. Get a little bit tight. Sneak those belts in there. Okay, so these two outputs are merging, this merger, hitting the splitter, and then being split along the line. Select the recipe. Copper sheets, 20 per minute. Okay. Okay, excellent. Copy. Paste it. Paste it again. Let's get some power. And we'll merge all of these. Is there room to merge? I think there is. Just get this all lined up. Excellent. Put a merger right. Okay, now we just need power. Oh, interesting. Okay. Line these smelters up with the constructors, not a big deal, it's all temporary. It still looks relatively clean. Go back to the grid. And you're 1 cable short. About 2/3 done with our smart plating. All these machines are on, so we're waiting for materials. Alright, we're in business. Now I believe we're making copper sheets and cable at a rate of 30 per minute, and we're making wire at a rate of 60 per minute. So none of that should have any issues with the small capacity of Mark 1 belts. Now, while those start to accumulate, we can go ahead and look at Logistics Mark 2. Really all we have to do is handcraft the 50 reinforced plates. And maybe after that, we set up some automation for reinforced plates. Get those started. We'll need those belts. We'll need the reinforced plates for coal gens too. Let's just turn all of these screws into reinforced plates. Now we're waiting on the wire for our space elevator. Most of all, we're waiting for the assembler to finish making our smart plating. So just take the time and handcraft. Okay, that's enough plates for the milestone as well as the assembler to automate the reinforced plates. Just need to run and grab some more rods and plates. More chests. They're accumulating relatively quickly here. Alright.
Milestone reached. Improved versions of conveyor belts and conveyor lifts are now accessible. To encourage additional verticality, conveyor poles now have a stackable variant.
So that was Logistics Mark II. It gives us access to the Mark II belts. Oh, what is going on here? Oh, this is the wrong recipe. Yeah, saw the sheets on this belt. There should not be any sheets on this belt. Sheets go over here. Okay. It's all sorted now. We're only making wire at half the rate we needed. Let's put a similar right over here for reinforced plates. We could probably do one for reinforced plates and one for rotors. But we're gonna start with reinforced plates. 30 iron per minute, 60 screws per minute. It's 30 iron plates. That's almost, what is that, like 3/4 of our total iron plates per minute? That's a fair amount of it. That's fine. And then screws. Let's do one of these. We're going to split this because we'll need screws for the rotors as well, using these default recipes. As you progress to mid-game and late game, I try to eliminate screws wherever possible. You know, most recipes in the game that require screws call for them in such large quantities that you just need multiple belts to get the screws where they need to go. And it's it's frustrating to deal with that many screws. It's hard to make it look clean, you know, because you have so many belts of screws. It's just a cluster. So fortunately, if you use all of the alternate recipes you find unlocking hard drives, it's 100% possible to eliminate screws completely from your builds. That's what I've been doing, you know, for like the last year or so. And now, the great devs at Coffee Stain have basically just laughed in everyone's face who likes to eliminate screws by introducing the aluminum casing, which is, essentially like a tier 7 item that acts the same way as screws do. It even uses the same graphic. The blue case that these screws are in, like imagine that's made out of aluminum, and that's what an aluminum casing looks like. So, although you can get away with avoiding screws for a while, aluminum casings are the screws of late game. Alright, we're automating reinforced plates. It's only one assembler. It's at a rate of 5 per minute, so you know. It's not super fast. Something else we need to do. We need to upgrade these belts with the screws. Not all of them, but some of them. This belt especially. And then also this belt. Okay. All of these belts feeding into the mergers, they don't need to be upgraded, because they're only producing at a rate of 40 per minute. But now this container should be filling at a rate of 120 per minute for the combined 40 times 3 total there. And we're consuming, what is it, 60 per minute? So that leaves us with 80, we were using 120, so we're using half our screws here. I said 140, I meant, sorry, 120 screws per minute are being produced. This one assembler is using half of those screws for reinforced plates. Now, I'm pretty sure that the rotors require 100 screws per minute. Yeah, 100 screws per minute. We're only producing 60, so we can put down an assembler, but it's not going to be operating at 100% because we just don't have the screws at this point. But is it worth doing? Yeah, I think it's probably worth doing. You know, over time, they will accumulate in a storage container. I don't know why that showed me as it aligned when it wasn't aligned. And, you know, the name of the game in Satisfactory here is automating. You want to automate as much as possible. Handcraft. Only as a last resort. 20 rods, 100 screws per minute. Obviously, we don't have 100 screws. Where are we on power? Okay. Max consumption, almost 180. Capacity, 220. That's fine, because basically, this is all we need to do for our starter base. It's basically done. Let's come over here and check our wire, see where we're at. Okay. So, about 1100, we need another, what, 428. We're producing at 60 per minute. Okay. So what is that, 7 minutes? That's fine. 7 minutes until we can build the space elevator. Smart plating's done. We'll reclaim that. Let's give our power a little check here. See where we're at with solid fuel, that's fine. So, basically we're just waiting for 7 minutes. Let's see what milestones we can do here. Milestones that don't require wire. It's 300 wire. We're going to abort that. It's 500 wire. It's 50 rotors. Okay, so they basically all require. We could get the jump pads, but jump pads are probably the item that I use, or the structure that I use least in any game that I play. Especially now that they've added so many more options for like traversing your base. They've added zip lines, like you zip along the power poles. So, I guess we could go start mining some Caterium. There's a Caterium node not too far. Let's go pick up some concrete. Just killing 5 minutes until we can build that space elevator. There's always something to do in Satisfactory. Oh, that's something we could do. That's something very worthwhile we could do. Where are we at? Okay. Oh, enough cable? Okay. Let's do it. Just take down this power pole for now. We're gonna add so that we're taking full advantage of this pure limestone node. Really getting as much concrete as we can. These are all Mark 1 belts from the merger to the constructors. And then Mark 2 belt from the miner to the splitter. From the splitter to the constructors, rather, not the... It's not a merger. And we'll put a merger on the side. Mark 1 belts again. It's only 15 per minute. Now this node can't quite supply. 3 constructors, but it's pretty close. Pretty close. They require 45 per minute. 45 limestone per minute. We're producing 120 limestone per minute from the pure node. So 45 times 3 is what, like 135? So 120 out of 135, that's pretty close. It's worth putting the third one down, in my opinion, even though they won't be producing at 100%. So we've almost, but not quite, tripled our concrete production there. That's always worth doing. Even though the ultra late game concrete needs are pretty low in terms of what you need for production. When you're building these giant bases, you're going to want several storage containers full of concrete at hand, and you will use it all every time. Let's get this space elevator up. Let's unlock tiers 3 and 4, and we will wrap up this episode. So it feels like we basically just started, and here we are already ready for coal power. No more forced gathering of biomass. But we will need to gather quite a few materials before we start setting up our coal power. The cost for coal generators and water extractors is pretty high. We'll also need miners for coal. But the nice thing about this location is that there are 3 pure coal nodes and 1 normal coal node relatively close, and they're right on a lake. So just have to squeeze the water extractors in, and we'll try to do it in a way that looks decent. And our 16 coal generators, that'll be a nice chunk of power. It'll be a good start for our mid-game base. What are we doing? We're building a space elevator. Is there room here? I feel like there is. Oh, touch down briefly. Work with me. Is it that power pole? Is this power pole causing issues? Let's move it. Oh? Okay, just like that. I like it. Space elevator going up right through the canopy of these 4 giant trees. Can we see the cable coming down? Oh, there it is. were such huge undertakings. But a lot of potential there. Like, I'm thinking 20 years, 20 to 30 years. It's just the amount of resources that have to be acquired. But you know, once it's there, the potential for profit also there. Okay, and just like that, we've unlocked tiers 3 and 4. We've done it relatively quickly. Coal power, that's obviously the first one. Kind of a steep unlock price, but we're automating all of this, so you know, you just wait and let it happen. This is a perfect place to end this episode. Next episode will be coal power. All about coal power. So thanks for watching. You know, we've made a really solid start. So much left to do. Really excited about that. Hit the like button if you're enjoying it. If you've got any questions or comments, you know, post them. I'll read them and respond if possible. And I'll see everyone in the next episode.